Thank you. Morning, Minister. May I follow on from Michelle Thompson's line of questioning, which I think is very important. Can I just read to you what Standing Order says about a financial memorandum? That it must set out the best estimates of the costs, savings and changes to revenues to which the provisions of the bill would give rise, and an indication of the margins of uncertainty in such estimates. The financial memorandum must also include best estimates of the timescales over which such cost savings and changes to revenues would be expected to arise. Can I just ask you, you've put on record this morning that you think this financial memorandum is 10 out of 10 when it comes to confidence. Are you absolutely confident in relation to the timescales that you're setting out that that is correct?
I mean, it's correct with the best estimates and the best information that we've got. I mean, the assumptions in the financial memorandum are spelled out. We are providing the committee with the best information that we can possibly have available.
I'm asking the question, Minister, because Mr Quayle, when he answered the question about some detail about the possible timescales, there is a big question about the ongoing co-design of the policies. And it is very clear from the evidence that we've taken so far that local authorities are not at all confident that the extent of the co-design is either certain or, in terms of the timescales, is very clear. So can I ask again, why do you have 10 out of 10 confidence in this financial memorandum?
Because the financial memorandum sets out how we are going to do these things. For example, as my colleague has said, as Alex has said, that the first step to the co-design process is to agree what that process is. So, we know that that process is going to take some time. It'll be working with local authorities. This is all set out in good faith that we are providing the best information that we can, that we have at this moment. So I am certain that we are providing you with the best information that we've got at this time.
Well, with respect, Minister, I think just to put it out in good faith isn't enough. As Michelle Thompson has rightly said, it is our duty and responsibility in this committee to be very rigorous in the scrutiny that we adopt on a financial memorandum. And we have seen, she cited two other bills in this Parliament, the National Care Service and the Children and Justice Bill, where the co-design process, which I can understand why it's important that good policy making is based on co-design with the stakeholders are obviously working in collaboration with the government. I absolutely get that. But if that co-design process is extended almost indefinitely, as far as I can see in this case, then it is almost impossible for us to scrutinise the final numbers of a financial memorandum. Do you accept that?
I absolutely accept that we are all looking at, what the best numbers that we can with the information that we have available to us now. And I know that that information is the best information that we can provide you now. Yes, if situations change in the future, as Michelle Thompson has said, the committee is obviously welcome to invite me back, and I would be happy to give an updated, financial memorandum and to look at that if the situation changes further down the line. This is our best information that we have now. So that's of course what I'm providing to the committee. The memorandum is clear about what assumptions are involved in that. And yeah, the co-design process does mean that the outcomes of that will be developed through the process. That is exactly what a co-design should do. So
why is it, Minister, that if you're making the point that you have 10 out of 10 commitment on the confidence, that the witnesses from whom we've taken evidence are saying 4 or 5. Why is there that discrepancy? What has gone wrong there?
I think the discrepancy is understanding what the difference is between a framework bill is and the provisions that will then follow on from that framework.
Sorry, do they not understand that this is a framework bill?
Well, I think that a lot of people want to know what then, they're looking at the detail of the policy. For example, what exactly are we looking at the Code of Practice for local authorities? What exactly are we expecting from local authorities in terms of targets? Which single-use items and how will those charges look? So we don't have that information. That is part of the co-development process to get there. No. So when people are saying, I'm uncertain about this, I would interpret that as meaning they want to know the detail of exactly what the Code of Practice will look like. I want to know that too, but that will be the outcome of that co-design process.
But the logic, Minister, of what you're saying is that if you have 10 out of 10 confidence in this, you feel that that degree of certainty and clarity is there. We have witnesses who are saying that that is not the case. What I'm asking is why you think there is this discrepancy in the degree of confidence in the financial memorandum, because that is a very serious concern to this committee, because it's our job to scrutinise that. And therefore, can I ask again why you think there is that discrepancy?
Well, as I've said, I am confident that the financial memorandum lays out the strategic costs as it intends to do. Where there may be some uncertainty is where people want to know the detailed costs of the following on secondary legislation, which of course we don't have that information because that has yet to be developed. So if there is that discrepancy, it's because I would assume local authorities and businesses and so on are looking for the detail which will come with that secondary legislation, but is not part of this bill.
My final point, Minister, is do you accept that because that detail is not there, our job is pretty well impossible?
I mean, that detail can't be there as part of a framework bill. That isn't really the nature of the enabling bill, but that detail will be presented through that secondary legislation and will undergo all that parliamentary scrutiny.